Hey guys, welcome back to Reroll the Tale, where I talk about my D&D character Ridley's adventures in our Wildmount campaign. Last time, we left off with Ridley finding out that they were just hired to steal some guns in Rexentrum, and she's not very happy about it. As they're about to leave, Ridley decides to take some alone time in a room by herself and pulls out her djinn that she just got. She makes her first wish. She wants to be able to cast Disguise Self at will with no material components, no spell slots, and have it last until she drops it. The DM did stipulate that this can only be used once a day, but she now has this ability. And a mysterious bracelet on her left wrist. Oh. Before entering the city walls of Rexentrum, Ridley casts Disguise Self to make her appear as a younger student boy, human, blonde hair. She asks the party to start calling her Caleb because it's a very common Zemnian name. They arrive at a building that's owned by the Cerberus Assembly. They walk in and they try to convince the guards that they're supposed to be there to install a safe. Yeah, that was all Darcy's idea. The guard calls BS. So Ridley walks up to them and speaks to them in Zemnian. Do you want to question the authority of one tied so closely to the Cerberus Assembly? With an intimidation check, she convinces them to let the party in. They start rummaging through all of these boxes. They can't find the guns that they're looking for. However, Ridley does find in one of the boxes this super cool sword. The DM homebrewed a Soul Taker sword that Ridley now wields. Suddenly, two guards walk in and see the party rummaging through everything. They start to fight the party and call for backup. We're fighting, it's looking bad. And then suddenly, we see a dimension door start glowing. Out walks a woman in long green robes with dark hair. She casts Hold Person on everyone. Everyone but Belinus doesn't make the save. Zone of Truth is then cast on Belinus, and he says to the woman, "I don't know who you are. We were just hired to rob you. Also, she doesn't look like that." The woman drops Ridley's Disguise Self, and she just says, "If it isn't the disappointment returned home." This woman is Ridley's mother, Vestaragna. I'm still reeling from this encounter. This was months ago. Ridley shoots a guiding bolt in Vess's direction after the reveal, only to have it dispelled. Vess takes everyone into her custody. Finally, after a week goes by, she takes everyone out. We're bound by our wrists and ankles with rope. She tries to convince Ridley to go back home with her, to which Ridley just keeps responding, Nope, not gonna happen." Vess then grabbed Olivia and is not very nice to Olivia. Vess pretty much starts torturing Olivia in front of the party. This made everyone really mad, obviously, for reasons. This is just retelling it. Vess tells Ridley, "I'll stop torturing your friends if you come back home with me." Ridley, trying to be stoic, just responds, "They're not my friends, and I'm not going home with you." Bad idea. So Vess then stabs Olivia, making her fall unconscious. Belinus body checks Vestaragna. Ridley burns the ropes on her ankles and wrists and readies an inflict wounds in her hand, expecting Vess to dispel it. It's not dispelled. The DM rolled a natural 1, and Ridley rolled a natural 20 to grab Vestaragna by the throat and sear her with an inflict wounds. Vess now has a pretty nasty scar. Feels good. Upon receiving so much damage, she decided it was time for a tactical retreat and left. We immediately grab Olivia's body and take her to the nearest healer we can find. The healer says only one person can stay with Olivia, so Holly, Darcy, and Ridley decide to go get a room at an inn while Belinus stayed with Olivia. While at the inn, Ridley's just having a bad time. Holly and Darcy recognize a cat at their windowsill. Darcy, being the monk she is, just jumps out the window. Holly starts running down the stairs to go meet whoever's outside. Ridley, in a state of whatever, decides it'd be fun to jump out the window, only to be caught in the arms of a large barbarian woman with black and white hair. This is Ridley's first time meeting the Mighty Nine. Yasha puts down Ridley, and Jester runs up to her and gives her some sweets that she had on hand. Darcy starts talking to Ford about what they're doing in Rexentrum, what they've been up to. Apparently they've met before. Holly starts talking to Yasha, and they're having a good time. Ridley hears a Zemnian accent, and she suddenly becomes very interested in Caleb. She walks over to him and asks, since he has a Zemnian accent, he must be from the Empire, and if he's familiar with the Cerberus Assembly. He's a little startled, but says he does. Ridley asks him, if you had to take down a member of the Cerberus Assembly, how would you do it? Caleb just replies, run. Caleb poofs Frumpkin onto Ridley's shoulder, they finish their conversation, and the Mighty Nine goes off to continue whatever adventure they're doing. Ridley, Darcy, and Holly go back to their room and try to get some sleep. Try is a keyword. Ridley is bamfed into a mindscape, specifically Olivia's. She gets some memories from Olivia's past, and then suddenly sees her in an astral setting. Olivia's just curled up in on herself. Ridley walks up to her, and they start having a conversation. Olivia's saying how she should just stay dead because she doesn't have anything else to contribute to the world, and it'd be more selfless if she left. Ridley got very angry at this, as Olivia has saved them on so many occasions. Ridley pretty much tells Olivia, if you want to be selfless, then stay. If you were to leave now, that'd be the most selfish act you could possibly do. Darcy and Holly are also there and try to convince Olivia to stay, and she does. The next morning, Olivia wakes up as Ridley, Holly, and Darcy rejoin both her and Belinus, and they decide it's time to start another adventure. And that's where we'll end that insane episode. A lot happened in that one. So if you have any theories as to what you think might be going on, might happen next, please leave it in the comments below. I'd love to read them. If you want to keep following Ridley's story, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time we re-roll the tale.